Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 6.
Some serious travel trouble in parts of northeastern North Dakota. 12 vehicles involved in a crash near Drayton, closing a stretch of southbound I-29 for about an hour and a half this afternoon. Good evening, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us this evening.
That crash included 2 Pembina County Sheriff's Department cars and 5 semis. They collided beneath an overpass in whiteout conditions. The Highway Patrol says 3 people were injured. Their injuries weren't serious. The crashes started before 2 this afternoon when a passenger car was rear-ended. Then a deputy parked along the shoulder of the road was struck by another semi, which blocked the road and caused more crashes.
Today's weather, especially for that part of the state, is much like it was on Sunday. Last night in the Northern Valley, blizzard conditions resulted in numerous crashes and dozens of people being stranded. At 9 o'clock last night, Ben Lagasse hit whiteout conditions on the north side of Crookston on Highway 2. He was driving to Grand Forks. He wound up spending the night at a Crookston motel.
100 yards to me, 15 cars in the ditch.
Really?
I stopped to pull out 2 cars, and after that I was like, no, I'm going back. I had to inch back to town by looking out my side driver's window to look at the curb.
Scary stuff. The owner of the Crookston Inn says he had around 30 travelers pull off the highway and stay at his motel after those whiteout conditions hit last night.
There's a no travel advisory for the Northern Valley. The high wind and blowing snow are causing icy and hazardous road conditions for drivers, and they're dealing with near zero visibility at times. Let's head over to Hutch Johnson to see if those dangerous conditions will let up anytime soon. Hutch?
Oh, we've been waiting for these winds to vacate the area for some time, but they continue to gust over 30 and even 40 miles per hour into the evening, with some bands of light snow still showing up on the radar right now between Grand Forks and Fargo. Visibility has been and will continue to be quite tricky throughout our evening. Northern Cass, Steele and Trail County, as well as portions of southern Grand Forks County, seeing some areas of reduced visibility continued once again, and we see these snow shots pass through the FM area as well. Visibility reduced to under a mile at times. Be aware of that as temperatures slip into the single digits. The wind gusts will remain into the late evening hours. If you do not have to travel, probably best to just stay home. Improving conditions expected, and I'll tell you all about them in just a couple of moments.
All right, thank you, Hutch. And you can also stay up to date on the weather conditions where you are anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just search VNL Weather in the App Store to download. And you can check for weather closings and delays at valleynewslive.com. Just click on the banner on our homepage.
Your kids have probably seen police officers walking the halls of their schools, and they may have seen that officer helping where there's trouble.
But one school resource officer in Fargo is using his position to better reach students at Fargo North High School. He calls it Cop Talk. Valley News Team's Bradford Eric has our story.
It's undeniable that what happened in Ferguson, Missouri is still fresh in the minds of law enforcement nationwide. And here in Fargo, it spurred an idea.
You know, we need to get together and talk about this. And I rose my hand right away, like, yes, I want to do that. I want to have that conversation, but I didn't have an audience.
Officer Chad Moen says that's when it dawned on him. Why not talk with the high school students? And why not tailor that conversation to where they are in life?
You know, the loud party, the traffic stops, that seemed like something these kids could deal with tomorrow or this weekend. And so I want them to be better informed of their rights and make better, safer decisions.
Officer Moen says the response has been good, covering topics such as what to do if you're pulled over by the police, what happens if they show up at your door during a party, and this situation with a school resource officer in South Carolina.
And I'd say, okay, try that with me. And they grab my arm and they pull. I don't budge, but the desk starts to tip. I mean, they're not getting me out of the desk, and it starts to tip, you know, and it's like, whoa.
Officer Moen says with kids having digital access to everything at their fingertips, they might only see a short video clip and form their opinions only off of that.
And so I want them to look at the whole story and then come to their own conclusion. It still may be negative to law enforcement, but at least they have a better understanding, a realistic perception of what's going on there.
And Officer Moen's fellow school resource officers are already planning similar programs. Bradford Eric, Valley News Live.
Officer Moen says a similar program is being planned at Davies High School. So what do you think about this program? Is it a good idea or a waste of time? Let us know on our Facebook page. Just search Valley News Live on Facebook and tell us your opinion.
The man linked to a deadly shooting in Enderlin over the weekend turned himself into authorities in Fargo last night.
Paul Miller of rural Enderlin is now in the Cass County Jail on charges of intentional murder. Authorities believe Miller and the victim knew each other. The drive-by shooting happened early yesterday morning. 32-year-old Billy Holliday was killed while dropping off his young cousin. Valley News Team's Ashley Bishop spoke with people in Enderlin about what may have triggered this violent crime.
The people of Enderlin are asking two main questions. Why did this shooting happen? And was it drug related?
I think everybody has questions, just a lot of unanswered questions.
Sauer knew Billie Holiday. She says she, like the community, is still in shock. Numerous people drove by the scene of where the deadly shooting occurred. Many people say Enderlin is a town that doesn't see much crime.
I regard this as a safe town, really a crime-free town, except, the occasional drug issue.
Patterson says the drugs he typically hears of people doing are meth and heroin.
No, when I first heard about this shooting, I thought it was drug-related.
Patterson says many people think drugs are just an issue in the bigger cities, but it hits small towns too.
This sort of a spreading cancer of an issue that's here in this town and all sorts of small towns. But the stuff is here, and long danger comes with it.
Holliday's aunt wouldn't speak on camera, but was with Billy after he got shot. She said she didn't think Billy did drugs, but says drugs may have been a factor. The Ransom County Sheriff says that the men did know each other.
The biggest shock about this town is that something like this actually happened here.
We did ask if this crime had anything to do with drugs. The Ransom County Sheriff tells us not that he is aware of, but there is a rumor spreading that it is about drugs. He says they still are investigating what led to this shooting. In Enderlin, North Dakota, Ashley Bishop, Valley News Live.
The vehicle and weapon that authorities believe were used in the shooting were recovered in rural Barnes County.
A West Fargo police officer arrested for DUI will serve a 5-day unpaid suspension. Weston Christensen was arrested by a Cass County Sheriff's deputy in the early morning hours of New Year's Day. Christensen will remain in his current assignment as a school resource officer. He was hired by the West Fargo Police Department back in 2013.
The Grand Forks Air Force Base is no longer under consideration to house unaccompanied refugee children. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services says the Air Force Base does not meet the qualifications to host the children for several reasons. There's not enough space. It has never been used to house people. There are no windows, and it does not have the necessary infrastructure for dining and food preparation facilities. The base was one among 6 others listed as a potential housing site.
A new tool is now being used to help protect you. It's a drone. The Clay County Sheriff's Department, the State Patrol, and the Valley Waddy Rescue today are talking about the advantages of having this new piece of technology. It's going to take a while, though, before it's up and flying. A permit is needed, and there's some training to go through in order to get a licensed pilot. That could take up to 90 days. And it has a unique feature that drove the cost to nearly $12,000.
If one of these helps find one lost kid or one lost hunter, they've paid for themselves for what they actually cost. The nice thing about some of these units, and this one in particular has it, is it has actually an infrared type camera on it, so it can be used not only just visually as a regular video type image, but also has some heat infrared type technology on it.
That one is one of 4 drones public safety agencies will have available around here. There are 2 in Becker County and 1 in Douglas County. And we're told the Clay County drone will also be available for service across the river in Cass County.
Questions and concerns have been raised over whether or not your children's privacy is being kept private. Google Apps for Education is a program used in both Fargo and Moorhead school districts. But local lawmakers are questioning the privacy policies and data collection on students by Google with this free software nationwide. Watch tonight on Valley News Live 10 at 10 to discover if our local schools are releasing that precious information on your kids to Big Brother.
Checks handed out to half a dozen area schools. Later on Valley News Live at 6, how some students proved they were deserving.
Bands of light snow continue to drift through the valley with gusty winds. Visibilities continue to be challenging. I'll have your hour-by-hour improving forecast right after this.